All right, boys and girls, this is what, Wednesday, I think. Wednesday, and so I just picked up my truck and trailer that spent 3 days at the shop. And so what they were doing is they were welding that piece over there because it was, well, this one was still okay, but the one on the other side was yeah, I see, like this one. See that fresh piece of so that one, it kept cracking, right? And so this is like the third time that happens, and basically that piece, even though it's now much more thicker than when I got the trailer from Fontaine, so it connects, you see, it connects this part, the top deck, and the main beams. And as I mentioned this before, I discovered that when I put the trailer on the ground, only this spot touches, like this, I don't know, 2 inches? 2 inches sits on the ground. And so I noticed it a couple of times, you know, like it goes really deep into the dirt, because here it starts rising, right? And so I don't know what kind of design is this. So only this spot was touching, very narrow. And the main beams, like these ones over here, right, where that thing is connected, those were not touching at all. And so I asked the shop, I said, guys, I want to improve the design and just give me 4 points of contact, right? And so they spent 12 hours but only charged me for 10. But now I have this, check this out, see this, they added like a 1-inch thick plate on the main beams here, okay? But that's not enough. They also added a plate in here. You see this? So now when I drop the trailer, it'll have 4 points of contact. See, they did it here, and it should be there as well. Yep, you see this? So I called them yesterday. I said, is my trailer ready? They said, no, call us 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, which is today. And so I called them today. They said, no, the boys finished late night yesterday. I said, okay, please have the bill ready, because I know sometimes, you know, they forget to prepare the bill, and then you sit there for an hour. And so I show up, I took an Uber, and I packed all my stuff. I took my garmoshka, my accordion, because I thought I would go right from there, I would go to the border. And I show up there, and they say $2,300. Like, wait, why is it so much? 2,300 bucks. And then the technician says to the clerk, says, no, you made a mistake. It's not, you charged him for 9 pieces of steel. We're only charging for 1 piece of steel, like 150 bucks. Now that guy added 9 times 150. So and then he tries to correct it. He destroys that entry on the computer. Now they have to redo it. Oh boy. But eventually they got it right. I said, okay, so what's the damage? The guy says $1,300, which is of course better, but you know, not by much, right? So I had to rethink my strategy of going to the border. So I came back here, took my car, and I needed to dive into my reserves, because I didn't expect, you know, almost 1,400 Canadian. And then, you know, when you run out of credit cards, what do? You apply for new ones, right? Everybody knows that. And so I got approved for a new credit card, and it was shipped Friday. So you approved, okay, your card is in the mail, shipped Friday, you should expect it within 7 business days. Okay. And where did you send it? We sent it to your branch, so the branch will call you. Okay, so I go to the branch yesterday, then this morning I said, guys, I'm leaving on a trip, I could really use this credit card, you know. Oh, it's not here. All right, so I call the bank. They connect me with the security. It's security. And some lady comes on the phone, and I say, are you at head office or are you at the branch where my card is going? And she's like, oh, I'm at the head office. So she says, let me see where your card is at. And turns out it's not coming to the branch, it's coming to my, you know, residential address. And she has no idea how long it's gonna be. And I said, if it's not a big secret, can you tell me where it's coming from? Like where it's being shipped from? But of course, you know, it's a huge secret. Nobody knows where credit cards are made, because I'm pretty sure they send them directly from the factory, you know, where they make them. Probably somewhere deep undercover in Mexico, I'm guessing. And she says, oh, no, I would not know that. Because, you know, I know if it's in Canada, usually it's like our Canada Post works pretty well. Usually it's, you know, 2-3 days. And so if it was mailed Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then of course I went to my post office, made them look through all the envelopes they received today, nothing. All right, that's cool too. So yeah, but I wanted to leave today but it's only like 400 miles, you know, from here where I'm loading in West Virginia, because it's only like 8 miles into West Virginia. It's pretty much, you know, as soon as you leave Ohio going south, you cross the Ohio River, and that's it. And I'm just loading right there. And we were still arguing about the dimensions. They keep telling me it's 13.4. I check all the websites. All websites says 12.7, and that's okay. It doesn't matter 12.7 or 13.4. Believe it or not, it does not matter for West Virginia and Michigan, because you need a pilot after 12. Once you're over 12 feet wide, you need a pilot. So whether it's 13.4 or 12.7 doesn't change things. But Ohio, you don't need a pilot if you're under 13. Okay? But I know Ohio will definitely want me still to use a pilot because of the weight. Just like they did last time. They have these bridges that are falling apart, right? And they wanted to use a police escort and one civilian escort. And actually I started calling around yesterday, found one pilot, and I said, well, here's the story. I received my West Virginia permit and I received my Michigan permit, and they both say that I need a pilot, but I don't have yet Ohio, so I don't know if I need a pilot in Ohio. And this guy says, well, I'm sorry, but we're not gonna be, he says, it seems like a waste of time for us to be driving there, because he says it's only 8 miles inside West Virginia, and he says we're gonna charge you we have to charge you $300 US. And I said, okay, then let's just sit tight and see what Ohio says, right? He says, I would just bootleg it, you know, I would bootleg it. Yeah, right, you know, with a heavy load like that, so I'll have to find somebody else. But basically these guys, they're up north near the lake, and they don't want to drive, you know, 2 hours and then just escort me for 8 miles. And yeah, I don't like that. Like, they're still gonna charge me the minimum rate, $300, you know. But I'm pretty sure I will need a pilot in Ohio, so I should probably get the permit tomorrow, and then I'm gonna call these guys and say, okay, you charge me what you need. So we'll do West Virginia and Ohio, and I'll probably shut down, because again, I looked at the miles. There's no way I'm gonna reach Michigan border or Michigan line, you know, between Michigan and Ohio by the end of Friday, because I'm loading Friday, right? So it's gonna take like 3-4 hours to load, and then there might be some delays with the permit, because I still don't have the Ohio permit. But Michigan, as you probably know by now, if you are a regular viewer of this Blockbuster channel, you cannot drive in Michigan with an oversized load if you are over 10 feet wide. And I drew my broker's attention to this because, of course, they wanted to deliver ASAP. And I said, I hope you guys know this, right? Because I checked on the map and it's pretty far, you know, and it's a big load. So it's going to be about 86,000 pounds. So the height is okay, about 12 feet, but the width, man. And so we shall see. So it's going to be an interesting load. Stand by for some videos, and yeah, I should be back. That one just goes back to Ontario. I couldn't find anything, you know, to take me down. Plus my trailer was still worked on, right? You see, I only got it today. So let's say today's Wednesday. There's no way I can find a load and still be at the shipper Friday, because, you know, you pick up something. If I could pick up something today and maybe like go 200 miles loaded, but it's not easy to find a load exactly like that, you know, going south. And so I'll just go empty because this load pays pretty good. And I checked the broker's credit. The credit is excellent. So as soon as I deliver, I know I'll be paid through my factoring company. And this goes back to Ontario, just a few hours north of Toronto. And so I'll be home for Christmas. That's the good news, except I don't care too much for Christmas. So I'll try to find a load right back into US, because sometimes minute shipment, you know, that nobody wants to do, but I don't care. As long as I'm home, so to speak, in Canada on the New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, that's the big holiday for me. You know, Christmas, I grew up in Russia. We didn't have Christmas. All religious holidays were forbidden. And only when I was leaving for Canada, actually, they started reintroducing them. The church came back kind of like into the life of the society. But until then, it was, you know, it was frowned upon by Communist Party leaders. So we didn't have any religious holidays. It was like October 7th, the Revolution Day, right? And then on November 7th, whatever. And then New Year, and then Soviet Army Day, February 23rd. You know, it was all pretty much military and party holidays and war. You know, May 9th, the Victory Day. So that's what we got. So I didn't grow up with Christmas. I don't celebrate it. So, which gives me a chance to beat the competition and move something for 20 bucks a mile into US, you know. So that would be an awesome Christmas. All right, so stay tuned. I'll post an update. Maybe I'll do something on the way to West Virginia. Maybe I'll do, you know, just when I'm loading. But so that's the next load. The huge pipe layer Caterpillar PL83. PL83 with boom and counterweight removed. Ciao.